I didn't walk into 2025 with confidence. I walked in carrying the weight of everything I didn't finish, everything I lost, and everything I pretended didn't hurt. The year didn't announce itself with hope or excitement. It arrived quietly, like a question I wasn't ready to answer. I thought I understood life before that year began. I thought effort always led to success, that loyalty guaranteed respect, and that patience would eventually reward me. 2025 challenged every belief I carried and replaced them with truths I didn't ask for but deeply needed. Early in the year, I learned that effort without direction is just exhaustion. I had been busy for years, constantly doing something, always moving, always tired. I believed being busy meant being productive. But 2025 forced me to slow down and look honestly at my actions. I realized I was working hard on the wrong things. I was investing energy into people who drained me, goals that didn't belong to me, and dreams that were never truly mine. That realization hurt because it meant admitting I wasted time. But it also freed me. I learned that clarity is more powerful than motivation, and knowing when to stop is just as important as knowing when to push forward. Another hard lesson came through silence. People I expected to stand beside me disappeared when I needed them most. At first, I took it personally. I questioned my worth, my kindness, and my decisions. But over time, I understood something deeper. Silence is an answer. Absence is a message. Not everyone who walks with you is meant to stay for the entire journey. Some people are only chapters, not the whole story. Letting go didn't make me weaker, it made me honest. I learned that loyalty should never require self-betrayal. 2025 also taught me that healing is not linear. Some days I felt strong, unstoppable, and hopeful. Other days I felt broken for reasons I couldn't explain. I learned to stop judging my progress. Healing doesn't move in a straight line. It moves in circles, waves, and pauses. I learned that feeling pain again doesn't mean failure. It means I'm human. I stopped rushing myself to be okay and started allowing myself to feel everything fully. That permission changed everything. One of the most painful lessons of the year was understanding that love alone is not enough. I believed that if I cared deeply, stayed patient, and gave endlessly, things would work out. 2025 taught me that love without respect becomes sacrifice, and sacrifice without boundaries becomes self-destruction. I learned that the right people will not ask me to shrink, beg, or explain my worth. Love should feel safe, not confusing. It should bring peace, not constant anxiety. Walking away from what hurt me felt like loss at first, but it slowly turned into self-respect. Failure visited me more than once that year. Plans collapsed. Expectations broke. Things I was sure would work simply didn't. At first, failure felt like proof that I wasn't enough. But eventually, I understood that failure is not a verdict on your ability, it's feedback on your approach. Every failure pointed me toward a better version of myself, one that was more realistic, grounded, and resilient. I learned that success is not about avoiding failure but about learning faster and standing back up stronger. I also learned how powerful consistency is. Motivation came and went, but small daily actions created real change. I didn't transform my life overnight. I changed it quietly, slowly, and without applause. Waking up on days I wanted to quit. Choosing discipline when comfort tempted me. Saying no when my old habits wanted control. Those small decisions added up. 2025 showed me that discipline is self-love in action. Another lesson arrived through loneliness. There were moments when I felt completely alone, even surrounded by people. Instead of running from that feeling, I sat with it. Loneliness taught me to become my own support system. I learned how to enjoy my own company, trust my instincts, and validate myself. I stopped seeking constant reassurance from others and started building a relationship with myself. That was one of the most empowering changes of the year. I learned that boundaries are not walls, they are doors with rules. Setting boundaries felt uncomfortable at first. I worried about disappointing people or being misunderstood. But every boundary I set protected my peace. I learned that people who truly care will respect your limits, and those who don't were benefiting from your lack of them. Saying no became a form of honesty, not rejection. 2025 also taught me to stop explaining myself to people who were committed to misunderstanding me. I wasted too much energy trying to prove my intentions, justify my choices, and earn approval. The truth is, people see what they want to see. I learned to let go of the need to be understood by everyone. My life became lighter when I stopped carrying that burden. One of the quiet lessons of the year was patience. Not the passive kind, but the active kind. The kind that keeps going without instant results. The kind that trusts the process even when nothing makes sense. I learned that some things take time because they are meant to last. Rushing would have broken what needed to grow naturally. I also learned the importance of gratitude, not as a trend but as survival. On the hardest days, gratitude grounded me. It reminded me that even in pain, something was still holding me together. Gratitude didn't erase my problems, but it changed how I faced them. It taught me to see progress instead of only lack. 2025 showed me that comparison is the thief of peace. Watching others succeed made me question my own timeline. But I learned that everyone's path is different, and delay does not mean denial. Some people bloom early, others later, but everyone blooms in their own season. Once I focused on my journey, everything became clearer. I learned that rest is productive. Burnout taught me that pushing endlessly leads to breakdown. I learned to listen to my body, honor my limits, and pause without guilt. Rest allowed me to return stronger, clearer, and more creative. It reminded me that I am not a machine. One of the deepest lessons was learning to forgive myself. For staying too long. For ignoring red flags. For making choices out of fear. For not knowing what I know now. Self-forgiveness released shame I didn't realize I was carrying. It allowed me to move forward without dragging my past behind me. As the year moved on, I noticed a shift. I was no longer reacting to life, I was responding. I was calmer, more intentional, and less desperate. I didn't need everything to work out perfectly to feel okay. I trusted myself to handle whatever came next. By the end of 2025, I wasn't the same person who entered it. I didn't have all the answers, but I had clarity. I didn't have everything I wanted, but I had peace. I didn't become fearless, but I became brave enough to keep going despite fear. 2025 didn't give me what I expected. It gave me what I needed. It stripped away illusions, tested my strength, and rebuilt me quietly. It taught me that growth is uncomfortable, healing is messy, and becoming yourself requires letting go of who you thought you had to be. When I look back, I don't see a year of loss. I see a year of lessons, resilience, and transformation. And for that, I am grateful.